New York for the wonderful world. She was written out to
Welcome to Tavern episode 9. I'm Tyler.
I'm Patrick.
And tonight we have Chris and Chris of the Tabletop Masons.
It's going to be a rad time.
Yeah. As soon as they're ready, they can show themselves.
Chow. Boom.
There he is. There's one.
There's one. Other Chris.
Yeah.
Oh,
there he is. There's other Chris.
the other leprechaun has shown himself.
I'll never show you where my pot of gold is.
It is St. Patrick's Day, so we are enjoying our adult beverages as we are of all of age.
Cheers.
Cheers to you guys.
So let's get through our stuff so we can get to talking about their stuff.
Yeah, so our Iron Kingdoms campaign is starting soon.
Yes, very soon. Character creation has already begun.
I'm done.
He's done. Backstory writing is underway. We're going to have character building soon, and then our first episode will be introduction of players, characters, and probably our first prologue mission. Excuse me.
Very nice.
Thank you. We just did our weekly update of Project Morpheus.
It was a long one.
That's a pretty decent one.
I mean, it wasn't the longest, but it was still a good one.
Yeah, it's still a pretty good one. Did some spooky stuff this week. So go ahead and read that. It's about ISO, also known as the Black City, which is a city that lies in the Narcean Unity's lands. So check that out.
It's a good read.
Anything else we need to cover?
We're working on our store.
Yeah, we've been building our online store.
Yep.
That'll
It's
be up
coming
soon.
along, and you guys will soon be able to shop the indie game market.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
A few rad t-shirts.
And some rad t-shirt designs are up. We're going to be up there with Dyson X's to look like Jolly Rogers's. Jolly Rogers? I don't know.
Rogers.
Rogers's?
It's already plural.
Rogers's?
Doesn't need.
Anyway.
Alright, I'm not even good. Go ahead.
Moving on. Tabletop Masons. Say hello.
What's up, guys?
We have Chris and Chris. So why don't you start out by just giving us a background, how you guys started, or why you guys started, when you started, how, etc.
Well, I guess I'll take this one for now, Chris. I think the turning point of where I finally started was we went to PAX last year, and we watched this talk with a YouTuber, Graham Stark, who does the Loading Ready Run stuff. And a lot of people come up and they're talking to him, how do you get into it? How do you, make sure that you can become like a content producer or whatever? And he was basically just like, make stuff. It doesn't matter, like you think your first couple of things are gonna be bad, and so we're just like, let's just do it. And so that's kind of where we started. We just were like, Chris and I have always played games. We've been playing like a bunch of tabletop games, Magic, and all kinds of other just like hobby type board games for quite a few years, and we were like, we see ourselves as potentially being able to do the design work, so just do it. Like, just get out there and force ourselves into this sort of schedule where we show up and do something.
That's really cool. Kind of how we started. We've been kicking around this idea for about
A year and a half.
August 2012.
Longer? Yeah, but almost 2 years.
3.
Wow, is it really that long ago?
Yeah, 3 years, man.
I know time.
I mean, time is relevant to the person viewing it, but whatever. So, and 3 months now. 3 months ago, we were finally like, all right, let's really get together and do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So
Here we are.
yeah.
Episode 9.
Yes.
So, can you tell us about your current projects? What you got going on?
So, Chris, I guess you can go ahead and take this one. I talk all the time.
That's okay. Our current projects, I guess the game that we've got the furthest is our pipe laying game, where we pretend to be 1920s oil barons. You're building like pipelines to your refineries and trying to stop the other people from building them to theirs, and then music explosions and stuff like that. I think that's our major one that we're focusing on right now.
He's
Well, I
also,
mean,
he's
I
also
was gonna
really
say-
like card
Go
building.
ahead, you talk.
Is it card building? Is it?
I mean,
How does it work? Is the question, I should say.
yeah.
It's sort of,
Go ahead, Chris.
it's tile laying, sort of like Carcassonne, but like you have to build the
Okay.
pipeline out. Yeah.
All right. And do you have any others in the works? I mean, is that's the major one you guys are focusing on, or?
Oh, because of the site, we have a bunch of prototypes that we're working on, but that's the one we've gone furthest with. What were
Okay.
you gonna say, Chris?
I was gonna say, the Tabletop Masons idea generally starts off with like the podcast, which is, or not really, it's more of a stream, where we set up one day a week, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. We say, we have 2 hours. We're gonna start with some kind of idea and just design a game as fast as we can from start to having like the pieces, what the pieces are going to be.
And the mechanics?
Yeah, to have all the mechanics, have all the things just written out, but then just not produced yet. So we'll have all of the things that are like all the rules, the way that the game sets up, have the pieces prepared, like either on a spreadsheet or just laid out the way that we want them to look like, and just finish that as fast as we can. Just go. We want our theme to be about cats, and we go, okay, we're making a game about cats. What is it? How do we make a game that emphasizes what this cat theme is, and then just do that as fast as we can. So that's the first part, and the second part is a follow-up where we'll show off what we've made and then play it with a couple of our friends around the area, and just kind of get feedback. Do just kind of a first play test with these people.
So I assume the cats was hypothetical.
It is on the docket to potentially happen.
No, it's a real idea.
So are
to make
you
a
guys
cat's
gonna go to like the supermarket and stalk out the old creepy cat ladies and be like, hey, I got
Tell
a game for you.
No, I just talked to my girlfriend and all of her friends, and I go, hey, I got something for you.
Well, everybody
Oh,
likes cats. Well, like
I hate
a lot of
cats.
people.
I guess everybody.
Obviously not you then. But I mean a large percentage of people. Not just one
All right.
I resent being stereotyped.
So do you guys have a favorite project?
So I mean, yeah, the one that we've been working on most was the pipes one. Just trying to, that was one of the games that we took to the Unpub event down in Bellevue, and we had a lot of fun with that. Playtesting other people's games and showing off, trying to talk to other people, get some feedback from other people who are currently working.
Board is actually right behind you.
Oh yeah, it's hiding behind that mattress.
That is a fancy workspace you got there, sir.
Dude,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
And so you guys use Twitch. Can you tell us like the response you guys have been getting there?
Small. When we do have people tune in, most of the people are actually really excited, and they feel, like they're like. So we had someone who messaged us and was like, "Wait, are you guys making making like tabletop games right now?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, I thank you for doing all this stuff. Like, you guys are doing something that nobody else is doing at the moment. Like, all the other game dev stuff that's on there is really very much in the like digital space, and
Okay.
not so much in the board game space. So,
What brought you guys to using Twitch as your connection to your audience?
I'm gonna go.
I
with-
didn't make that decision.
Yeah, laziness, I think, was the one. I mean, really, it's easy to use. It's live feedback. Like,
Can't figure it out. But that can't do. Right? I want to hear shit.
Set it up that way. Instead, we
Well-
stream to YouTube where no one gives two shits about it.
yeah.
Putting that out there.
We'll talk. All right. Podcast happening right now.
I'm just kidding.
So, I guess one of the biggest questions I had was, where does the name come from? Like, are you guys like Freemasons, or that kind of Mason, or where did the idea of the name come from? I'm sure there's people will be burning to ask you that question in the future as well.
And you can always redirect them back to this podcast.
We wanted a fancier word for builder.
Oh, that works.
That's it.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Cool.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
We spent. How long did we spend working on that name? Like, it was leaning more towards like a week. We were like trying to figure out a name.
It wasn't like a week constantly. It was like 20-minute spurts throughout that week. It was like, we should find out the name. And then it was like, this is too hard. Let's do something else.
I happen to just be like, he's like, we need a name. I was like, oh, it needs to be something cool, something futuristic, and something awesome.
We
like
both
a
like
space
space.
tavern.
Space is cool. Beer is cool. Let's put them together. That makes sense. Yeah.
Space and alcohol. That's.
I mean, that was basically ours.
Yeah.
Games plus making equals boom.
Yeah.
Thank you, thesaurus.
Can you guys give us a bit of a background into your gaming history, where you guys come from, what type of games you guys like to play, that kind of thing?
Chris, you can go ahead and go first.
Oh, so much magic.
God, so much magic.
I've been playing Magic since like, I don't know, 3rd grade. I still play it. I have 2 cubes constructed now that I love playing. And I have like 30 decks.
Good lord.
I've got 4,
I've got
5.
2.
I don't give competitive decks though. All my decks are like silly novelty. Like I had one that had like every card began with S and it was a Highlander deck.
Wow.
Stupid stuff like that.
Nice. Any other games? You play role-playing games, like video game genres you're into, that kind of thing?
I love the open world RPG stuff like Fallouts and the Skyrims. And yeah.
Any classic RPGs?
I mean, I used to play like JRPGs a lot more, but that was like in the old days. There's not really much of a market for those anymore.
Very cool. What about other Chris, who I think is actually frozen right now?
I ain't frozen, I'm just not moving.
Oh, okay. Your thumbnail was frozen and you like in a position like this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nah, man. Like a gargoyle.
It only moves when you mention it.
But yeah,
Anyway.
I played a lot of Magic, like growing up, like through middle school, high school. Used to go to a lot of really competitive events, go to PTQs, and like get pretty high there. Just played so much Magic, and then started moving into doing a lot of like I really like roguelikes, like FTL, Binding of Isaac, all kinds of games that are like Rogue Legacy, Spelunky, those kind of games.
Right.
As far as like digital games go, and then also I played League of Legends like 14 hours a day when I was in college.
Jesus.
Graduate.
When did you go to class?
During the other 4 hours, and then I spent like 4 hours sleeping.
Wow, that is dedication. This is hardcore dedication.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any of you guys have any experience with like D&D or anything like that?
Oh yes, I do. A lot. I don't think other Chris likes D&D that much though.
I played D&D 3 times.
Which one?
We played 3.5 with you, right, Chris?
Yeah, we played 3.5.
We played 3.5, and then we also I was part of a 4th ed one like campaign
That's
for a
why
little
you
bit. It was just like there was so much just me sitting there being bored, and I was just like, this is terrible.
I get that.
You just don't know how to get into it.
God, yeah.
I mean,
That's true. Well,
But
then
I started doing this like Roll20 campaign recently, and he's like, "Oh, we're doing like one-shots if you want to just try it out." And he's using 5th edition for that one, so I might try that out.
we tested 5th edition, and we actually highly recommend it. As opposed to the abomination known as 4th edition.
The edition that shall not be named.
The one we lit on fire. Out back.
I mean, if you recorded that, I'd watch it.
Unfortunately, no.
That was back before we actually had a podcast.
They're just really mad.
That would be a great cold open to a podcast.
Welcome to a special
What are these
edition.
burning books?
Burning 4th edition books. All 26 of them. Podcast runs for 5 hours. It takes so long to burn all through all the books.
Turns out they're flame retardant.
No. They're bound with black magic.
You are stuck with us forever.
Damn you, wizards of the coast.
They're truly are wizards.
Alright, so, do you guys have any big plans coming up in the near future, far future?
Your stretch goal, you know, stretch goals, as Kickstarter would call them, or that kind of.
I did leave out one kind of important thing about our origin story.
Oh.
You were blasted with kryptonite rays.
Well, it's flashback time. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking the bet that I have with Martin.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I used to do a lot of like digital game works. Like I go to a bunch of game jams, do a lot of like game programming stuff. And when I was first starting working on that, I had this roommate, and he was kind of a dick, I'm not gonna lie. And he was always like, you guys suck. You guys are never gonna make anything. You're not ever gonna do anything. You guys are just terrible. I was like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? And he's like, here, I'll make you a bet. If you can sell a game in 2 years, then I will shave off my eyebrow.
Just one eyebrow.
Just one eyebrow. One eyebrow. But if you can't, then you have to shave off an eyebrow.
Alright. Chris, we like you. We're going to help you out. Have something available, ready to ship, you let us know. We'll throw you up on our store, and we will sell the crap out of your name. And it will be so much in sales.
He'll have to shave both eyebrows.
Yeah.
No, you don't want... Dude, he looks dumb if he shaves both eyebrows. You just want this one...
I'll have to shave one eyebrow and half of his face.
The other half, like he'll have this eyebrow will be gone, it'll be this half of his face will be shaved.
That's a good plan.
How far along in the bed are you? How long has it been?
A significant amount of time.
Oh, it's crunch time, baby.
Yeah. I think we have actually about half the time. We got a little bit over or less than a year left now, I think.
No, it's crunch time. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Let's keep us updated on that bet. If you lose, just send us a picture. We'll throw it up on our website.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna effing record him. Just
Like I said, as soon as you get something ready, you let us know.
Dude, I'll let you know.
We'll sell it.
That is awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. So
That is kind of our stretch goal, to get something ready.
Yeah.
Have a publishable game. That would be that's something to strive for that we want to do.
If you can do it in, like, the next 2 weeks, that'd be great.
I don't think it's going to happen that fast.
Stretch goal. That's like
my project manager now.
oh. They have a project manager.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Let's do it. Okay. It's like being at work.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could come in on Saturday and get that done.
Oh.
Sunday, too, while you're at it.
So we asked this question to all of the devs and designers that we bring on the game. Can you take us through an average day for the life of a designer?
The Tabletop Mason designers.
Specifically, what is the average day for a Tabletop Mason?
Well, Pat and Tyler, I put on my pants just like you guys, one leg at a time.
Put my bra on one leg at a time.
Really? I put mine on both legs.
And then
Some kind of magic.
I go piss excellence.
Call it a game.
What is life like for us, Chris?
I go to my job. I come home. I play some games. And I spend the last hour of my day thinking about what we're going to do when we podcast on Tuesday. That's usually what we do.
Hold on,
Yeah, something like that.
So you guys only work on this bet / your company / possibly making money 1 day a week.
Dude, I mean, I work on it.
Stream 1 day a week.
Yeah.
I mean,
They podcast one day.
Well, I mean, this guy just said he sat around and thought about it. I mean, I think about us all the time. Not like that way or anything, but I mean, I think about the company all the time.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's something that, like, I get up in the morning, I get on the bus, the first thing I do is go on Twitter and go and check and see what's going on there as far as board game stuff goes. Go look at Board Game Geek, see if there's anything interesting there, and then see if there's a design that I'm interested in working on, then I'll work on that while I'm on the bus, also at work, because there's something else to do at work.
I need his job.
Yeah, right.
You want to work in aerospace? You can do that.
Actually, I'm studying to be a mechanical engineer, so.
Oh, nice. I was working on
So he
mechanical
does.
engineering.
I went to school for theater, so I don't think I can really help you there. Still going to school for
You could be a test dude. Just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but
I don't know what I'm doing,
Flight
but
Simulator.
here's a play about how I felt about it.
Here's the play about how I tried not to monologue.
Yeah, try not to put too much exposition in.
I think you'll really like it. Company theater night, anyone?
They're like Monsters Inc. At the very end.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That's an idea that we should just not do. So, now.
Dude, if you want to write a play, I'd watch that too.
I am writing a play, actually. It's where the world of
Project Murphy
has come from. It's
Ah.
the world of the play.
Oh.
That's how, yeah, they kind of exploded from there. It started as a play, then it started as rewrites, and then it was, hey, let's do this war game. And I'm like, hey, I've got this crazy good world we could use. And now, look where we are now.
Actually, it was more like, man, I think we should develop a game. Okay, I have the greatest idea ever.
Let's make a play into a war game.
It's a fantasy world.
The ultimate immersion.
Play. YouTube.
So, in the future, if that ever gets put up somewhere by a theater company, keep a lookout for that.
Your play.
Yeah, but I plan to at least make the plan for us, as far as Morpheus goes, is to publish all of the lore and the play as one thing,
Yeah.
and the rules for the game as well. So
And the miniatures.
and the minute it goes without saying, I figure. You know.
Sometimes you have to spell things out for people. I'm not saying these gentlemen.
MINATURES.
Jesus. I didn't even realize that.
Sure, so
I
spelled that
didn't.
wrong.
I didn't spell that out, so thank you.
I don't even know if I spelled it right.
Yeah.
Too late now. I've written it down somewhere.
Dude's
I
like,
did spell it right. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I totally did. Oh. I forgot the second I in it. It's miniatures, not miniatures.
some dude on, like, listening to this. is
Somebody was going to watch this podcast later and yell at us for it. But
like, oh, well.
whatever. You can blow me if
This
you
guy
want.
says he went to college, can't even spell miniatures.
This guy calls himself a writer. He can't even freaking spell.
First of all, sir, let me correct you right there. I'm getting my master's in writing.
Really am. So, suck it. anyone who's mad at me because I can't spell, that's why
That's
they
why-
invented spell check. So,
That's why there's the internet. I don't need a dictionary.
I have my handy dandy thesaurus right here.
Thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
I'm just missing one of those dictionaries. So I think we've
exhausted that means of entertainment.
see if we have anybody.
So now we go through questions, and you guys feel free to answer them as well. We actually prefer it.
Yeah,
and you guys are also welcome to ask us questions. It's an open forum.
Pretty much. Just open forum between the two of us. And the people watching. Mainly us. Let's see what we got.
Well, someone's giving their life story on Twitter, which is really weird.
What else is new, right?
You only get 160 characters. Or is that 140? Oh, don't worry. She's she's belting it out in multiple tweets.
I mean, that's how you know it's important, right? The more tweets that it takes, the more important it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
You guys like hockey?
Dude, I don't know shit about hockey.
Do you like it?
No, I like. I mean, hypothetically, I could.
What's not to like? It's violent.
Dude, we live on the east or the west coast.
that's true.
Hey, we're supposed to get a hockey stadium soon.
Oh. Well, I wasn't going to stereotype them just because they lived on the West Coast.
Well, they live in Seattle. There's not really many hockey teams here. The nearest ones are in California.
They could go to Canada.
I think there's a Seattle hockey team. It's just they're bad.
Probably.
They're also
minor.
not professional, so
Yeah.
they're minor.
Let's see. Yes. What are your favorite? What were your favorite decks that you've built in Magic the Gathering?
My favorite deck that I've ever built in Magic is this deck when I probably about a year into playing competitively, and I just built it for fun, and it was a Necrotic Ooze deck
Sounds fun.
that won off of. There was a bunch of different things that I had in it. It's like really toolkitty, but it was like the main way to win was off of Gigantomancering, like an Inkmoth Nexus twice and just hitting them. And had like Fauna Shaman, so you can like search your deck for whatever the piece is that you want to toss them into your graveyard, and then do all kinds of like weird mechanics like that. That was probably my favorite deck. That's really fun.
Oh, you
Well,
Chris?
I said my S deck. I love that one. It was awesome. But I also had an alliteration deck where every card was alliterative. So like even the lands were like Seaside Sanctuary or like Coastal Cliff, stuff like that. That entire deck was like that.
I love all the decks all four of them that I built. I think my favorite one though is the elf deck that I have, because it's not a life gain elf deck. It's I'm gonna swarm a bunch of elves and then overrun you to death elf deck.
Get that Crater Hoof Behemoth. He'll get there.
I actually don't think I have him in that deck. That's a little.
Not gonna lie.
He's in my zoo deck, which I was really actually. Just a funny story about my Magic the Gathering experience. I started playing my sophomore year of college. A couple friends of mine on the floor, we really got into it. And I had this green mana ramp large monsters deck, and they called it a zoo deck, and I was really offended that they called my deck a zoo deck. And then I went on later, and I was like, oh, it's actually called a zoo deck. Well,
I have no idea what this means. I'm very offended.
I'm still just new.
Awesome.
So, I played a lot back in like middle school, early high school. Got out of it. Now I got back into it recently. I'm just like, I assembled a deck. That is all I care about.
Game 1.
I quit Magic. I made a deck. Throw in the fire with the 4th edition. Who's your favorite card? Do you have a favorite card? I know mine. Mine is Allosaurus Rider, who's an elf riding a dinosaur.
Mine's the one with like the plants on it and stuff.
That could be anything.
I think it's called a mana card. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Is it Forest? Is it Forest?
Yeah, it's totally forest.
I knew it. It's a useful card. My favorite card is probably Confusion in the Ranks. Because that card is hilarious.
What you, other Chris?
Dude, I don't even know. I don't think I have a favorite card except for maybe Necrotic Ooze, because that guy's awesome. Because of the exact reason I just said.
It was for a while. I was torn because I had the Green Praetor, whose name I cannot remember at this current moment.
It starts with a V. Borsinclex.
Borsinclex. I drew him in one of the very first packs I ever bought. So he was my Vorinclex, I think so you say.
Vorinclex, yeah.
He was my favorite for a while, and then I happened upon an elf riding a dinosaur. So I give that thing Loxodon Warhammer, and it becomes an elf riding a dinosaur carrying a gigantic life gain Warhammer. So in my mind, nothing will ever get better than that.
Okay, but for real, back in like 2002, I think it was the Leviathan. That was my favorite card. And, I mean, it had shit health, but awesome damage.
Oh, wasn't it 10-10?
No, it was like a ridiculously high number of damage, and it had 3 health.
I think you think another card.
Yeah, whatever. It was awesome. That's all I remember about it.
Okay.
So here's another question. What are you guys plans as far as your whole business stuff? I know you're doing the stream. You got your website. You're starting with your store. You guys look like you're working on your own tabletop RPG game.
Yeah. Well,
I can
wanna-
handle part of this.
I'll fill in the cracks.
Yeah. All right. So we originally started just as another. We originally wanted to be just another hobby shop. We just wanted to be just another run-of-the-mill hobby shop. And when we got back together to do this, we were like, the sky's the limit on this thing. We can literally do whatever we want. It's our company. We can do with it as we please, as long as we turn profit and we're doing good. We wanted to do good. We wanted to be a force of good. And we decided that we would start reviewing upcoming indie games that are being developed, and we have an open call on that. And on top of that, with our reviews, we would also offer to sell your products. And my background before going back to school was e-commerce marketing. So I can sell anything on the internet all day long, and I can market it too. And with us, we'd be marketing your product and selling it, and you'd get free marketing through us. And we want to get out there, and we want to meet as many developing game guys or indie devs as possible. Get them on here. Get them in our store, start selling it, get their product out there in the world. I mean, that to me is just something awesome. And we don't necessarily hope for the same in return. We just enjoy helping people, and on top of that, I mean, that's our whole business model, I mean, we would sell Games Workshop if they allowed us to open up an account with them. No kidding.
Yeah.
But indie devs is really our main drive. We want a lot of indie devs. I mean, sky's the limit. Doesn't matter, and we'll review it. We'll do everything for it. I mean, even if you guys wanted if you came to us and you're like, all right, so we have our Twitch feed and we have our Twitter, but we feel like we're lacking on other social media platforms. Can you help us get out there with that? We would gladly do that for you for free. We help you choose a carrier, a platform for your website, and help you set it up. Obviously, you're an engineer, you don't need my help. But, I mean, if you guys did come to us and you're like, we need these things done, we don't have the time to do it, could you do it for us? We'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem. But, so, I mean, we do that too. And with his theater and production background, we're also going to be doing our own short series on YouTube. There's 3 of them that we've...
I think we have 3 planned, yeah.
3, yeah, it's on the site. And we're going to be doing that. Tyler, what else are we doing?
Well, I don't know, I guess we actually started out on our second time around with this when we really got the ball rolling. We started out just doing tabletop war games. And then as we started to dig more and more as we were designing our stuff and looking into what other people were doing, we really learned that a lot of people are out there with, really good, well-designed indie games. And we wanted to give the community something to get themselves out there.
An outlet.
An outlet, yeah. And coming from a background of theater and specifically writing, I've always wanted to write like lore. I've always loved to write that kind of stuff. I've always loved to DM campaign, like RPG campaigns and things like that. So developing a war game seemed like the first biggest natural step for us to take.
Yeah.
And then we figured we would also help everybody else out, because that's where the design community, it's a community. It's not really a cutthroat business like other places. And I used to work in a hobby shop and things like that, and I've always loved that kind of environment. I think that the local game store is evolving into something that we're trying to figure out what. But
I mean, we're trying to be the next step.
Yeah.
In the local game shop. I mean, you go into some hobby shops today, and not to say any names, but you kind of get treated, especially if you're like the new guy in the area. They kind of shun you for a while. You're like on this island, and we don't like that. we don't want that for people, when they come into like our shop. I mean, right now you see our office. That's all we have done, and I mean when we have free time, we're here working on the storefront. So, but it is what it is, guys. So,
yeah. So yeah, our long-term goal is to really just help. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have things we're doing. We're always doing something.
We'd like to be the what is it? I don't know where I was going with that.
For what?
We'd like to be we'd like to be the top gear of the tabletop and game design community.
Yeah.
That's essentially where we.
I mean, we don't want it. I mean, we'll test your digital games and play them, but that's not really like our main focus.
Not our shebang, but we'll do it.
We prefer like the old pencil and paper and
rolling dice.
Rolling the dice.
Games.
So.
That sounds awesome, guys.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean about like the whole. Sometimes the community is just kind of toxic, especially to people who are new or different than what they're used to, and it's a shame. But
yeah,
it's good to hear other people who want to be a force for good, as you were saying. And that.
There are unfortunately people that carry on the gamer stereotype out there in the world, and it really throws a lot of people away from your local gaming store, because that's usually just their.
Yeah, especially like people that want to get into D&D or things like that, and
but they're
not like super serious or anything, which is fine. I mean, everyone does their own thing, but I mean, if you want to get into something, you're going to go to like the closest place that has it, and you're going to ask questions about it. And if you go in and you're generally not to be mean here, but if you're not like 50 pounds overweight and smell funky and you have like a weird like tattoo wrapped around your arm or something, you're wearing a wife beater, people kind of like they shun you.
And people don't hang around the local gaming store too often when that stuff happens.
Yeah. I mean, that really pushes people away from not only the hobby but also your business, man. I mean,
I'd like to see the local game store come back into what it could be, which is somewhere, with all the budget cuts from schools and things like that, and after schools, local gaming stores could be a great place for people to go after school. They should feel like a safe environment, because for the most part they are. You're playing games at a local hobby shop.
Yeah, and they generally have like cheap drinks and snacks for sale too. And I mean, your kids are going to be supervised. I mean, why wouldn't you want your kids to go there and just play games and get into something that they
not drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Not drugs.
Yep.
Yeah. And I
We say
mean,
that as we're all drinking alcohol.
First of all,
Don't do
we're of
drugs.
age. We're of age.
yeah, we are all of age, for all of our younger viewers that may watch this.
And it is St. Patrick's Day, so.
Yeah. We just typically don't drink on screen. But
Tonight we make an exception, and we are super Irish over here, so.
yeah.
Nice.
We could talk on and on about
Oh, no.
about where we'd like to go with it and things like that. So, I mean, do you think we answered that question well enough?
Yeah, very, very much so.
So, I guess we can. I would like to end this podcast on a question for you guys.
Sounds good.
Do you have any advice for up-and-coming designers out there? You know, the things that you've come across that other people will come across, and anything you want to pass on? Or...
Before you answer that, I will say I am so damn impressed that you guys can figure out so much stuff in just 2 hours and be completely set with it. Like your mechanics, how it's looking, everything. That just blows my freaking mind away. Like, you and I were like 2 weeks straight. What mechanics should we use?
Yeah,
no, I like these. No, I like these.
How are we gonna? What dice system are we gonna?
Yeah, D6, D20. I know. D4. We'll throw it. Well,
D2.
D4
Coin flip. Only coin flips.
You don't need dice to play our game. Just go grab your change out of your pocket. Ching. You're dead.
You can only ask yes or no questions on a Thursday, and you can only flip a coin to answer them. Both sides must be heads.
Do I die? I'm dead.
Damn it. Stupid quarter.
People tweeting us. Your game sucks. Our response: You just don't understand brilliance.
We're ahead of our time.
The amount of times I've heard that.
Oh, I'm just joking.
Oh, I know you're joking. Oh, I know you're joking. But that doesn't mean there's not people out there who are just like, I'm awesome. One piece of advice. I think we have two pieces of advice, and I'm sure Chris knows what the other one is. The question. The first one is don't be afraid to be bad. Like, literally, the first thing you're going to make is going to suck. And the second thing you're going to make is going to suck. And the third thing you make, that's going to suck too. Like, that's just how it is. And it just takes iteration and practice and keeping to it. And eventually you'll get to something that you'll be like, oh, I like this little part, but everything else is still garbage, so I'll keep that.
Yeah, but also try not to just churn out the same thing over and over again like Nickelback, because that's bad.
Well, that wasn't Nickelback's first problem. The first problem was that they're just bad in general. So, relating to what Chris said, he said something once that I really identified with, is that stop procrastinating, because a lot of the reasons why we procrastinate is because we think what we're going to make is not going to be good, and that's probably true, but you have to get over that feeling, because being bad at something is the first step to like being good at something. So
yeah, like Jake the dog from Adventure Time says, being bad at something is the first step to potentially being good or kind of not bad at something, or something like that.
I love Adventure Time. And you don't like
that.
Dungeons and Dragons, but you like Adventure Time.
Oh yeah, dude.
Adventure Time is based off Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah, it is.
But I'm not in Adventure Time. I'm just watching.
That's what we all say. We're adults. Okay? You can like what you like, sir. We won't judge you.
We like Paw Patrol, okay?
What?
He's got young kids. We watch kids shows all the time.
Awesome.
We come to like Paw Patrol is a story of a 10-year-old boy who has built this gigantic tower and a squad of young puppies that go around saving the day.
And they talk.
And they talk.
And they drive these really awesome vehicles.
That's the 10-year-old build. It's awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely sang the Blues Clues mailbox song at work today, so it definitely happened.
Right on, my friend.
If I have any advice out there for anybody, don't be afraid to fail, and don't think that your shit doesn't stink, because your shit is definitely gonna stink.
And also, no one wants to make your game more than you want to make it. As one of our good friends, and every 4 weeks he comes on our podcast, he said that too. So
yeah.
So that's all we have for the night. If you guys have anything else you want to add on.
Any other questions?
I'm good, Chris.
I'm good.
Anything? Any upcoming events you guys want to pitch yourselves for being at, or anything like that?
Well, we're not going to be at GameStorm this weekend.
Because we only just found out about it. Well, we could have been if we had more warning.
Definitely
Internet.
3 hours away from here. Could be there, but that's fine.
I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt.
Not hurt.
I'm not hurt. I'm fine. Are you crying? No.
Let's see. There's that event down in Portland, Chris. What days you say that was?
PDX Age.
Yeah, PDX Age.
I
That's
guess it's in May.
May 18th, 17th through the 20th, 16th, 15th through the 18th.
That's
Plan
awesome.
to be there, and we'll probably bring a prototype of ours. So
Yeah, we'll probably bring at least the prototype of our pipe game, which I've been calling Oil, with an exclamation point. And we'll probably bring one more prototype as well to that. Hopefully we can have, I want to have at least one development copy, like, through publication, like, have a set
You can
box.
get us
by that
something.
day.
We'll totally review it and throw it up on the site too.
Yeah, that would be sick.
So yeah.
Okay.
So thanks again, guys, for coming on.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We had a blast.
Absolutely,
you guys
guys.
did too.
yeah, no problem.
So we look forward to hearing more about what you guys got going on, and
Definitely keep in touch.
Absolutely, man. Good talking to you.
good talking to you. And this has been episode 9.
At the tavern.
Yeah.